Ladies and gentlemen, it happened. The Blackhawks won the draft lottery and the first overall pick to get Connor Bedard. I gotta say, it feels great. You can say the lottery's rigged. You can say the Blackhawks don't deserve it. But at the end of the day, the pick is ours, and there's nothing you can do to stop us. So yeah, a few days ago, the Blackhawks won the draft lottery, the number one overall pick, and the rights to Connor Bedard, probably the most anticipated NHL prospect since Connor McDavid in 2015. Obviously, that pick didn't matter much to the Blackhawks because we were on our way to winning our third Stanley Cup in 6 years. But here we are 8 years later, in need of that pick, with a full-scale rebuild going on, and we got it. Big day for the organization. And it's really going to jumpstart this rebuild for us. Now, this doesn't really seem like a pick that you would overthink, really. You know, take the generational talent that's given to you, right in your number one slot. There's other really good players like Fantilli and Mishkov and Carlson. They're all really good, and they might be top picks in any other draft, but you know what? Connor Bedard, he's there. He's on a whole different level. This is the guy that you have to take, in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of other people. So that being said, it seems like the Blackhawks are going to take Connor Bedard, and we're going to end up with him. But now the real question is, where do we go from here? Like, are things going to pan out for Bedard? What's his career going to end up looking like? And how are we going to continue to build this team now that we've got the pick that we've longed for? Now, unfortunately for the Hawks, they've got another first-round pick this year. It's either going to be 19th or 20th, pending the outcome of the Florida and Toronto series. They've also got 4 second-round picks, plus 2 third-round picks in this upcoming draft. Looking ahead to next year, they've also got 2 first-round picks in that draft, and a few more second-rounders. So they are stacked, loaded with draft capital over the next couple years. Plus, they're going to be getting a generational talent, Connor Bedard. I think it's safe to say that this rebuild is off to a flying start. Now, unfortunately, this season, the free agent class is a bit weak, to say the least. Next year should be better, but I think that's okay for the Hawks because as far as we're concerned, we're not really looking to fill all the holes around Bedard this season, because obviously this is a multi-year rebuild still. We're not just going to turn things around because we have Bedard, just fill in our lines with a bunch of free agents and then go compete for the playoffs. Kyle Davidson's made it clear that he wants to stick to this plan of the rebuild, and while it's going to boost our trajectory to get Connor Bedard, it really shouldn't affect our plan, and it shouldn't rush things, because last thing you want to do is rush your rebuild and then things don't pan out, especially when you're handed a generational talent like Bedard. I think for this upcoming season, we can expect to see more development of players. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of Lucas Reichel. I think he's going to be a full-time NHLer. I'd also like to see more of some of our other prospects. I'd like to see Kevin Korchinski play a few games. Maybe even Frank Nazar if he's ready. Plus we'll see more of some other prospects like Alex Vlasic and Cole Gutman, etc. So I think this is going to be a developmental year for the Hawks. And then we'll see what free agency is looking like for next season. I think for sure we need to stick to the plan of continuing to develop our prospect pool, but I don't think that we should be worried about spending a little bit of money in free agency, even this year. We've got $44 million in cap space. That is a ton of money. We can go out and get a couple solid pieces to play middle line with Bedard. But yeah, it should be interesting to see how he pans out. Eventually, we're going to see where some of the holes in this team are, and hopefully developing really good prospects is going to give us that option with some cap space to be able to go out and spend on pieces. our draft capital. We can hopefully trade some of that as well. And I'm certainly looking forward to having Bedard on our team, not only because he's going to be really good, but because he's going to be some leverage for free agents. I think there's going to be a lot of players that are going to want to play alongside Connor Bedard, even seasoned veterans. I think having a prospect like that, having a player that's thought to be generational, Crosby, McDavid-like talent, I mean, that's somebody who's going to be a draw for people to come play with. So I think that despite us rebuilding, despite us still being a couple years away from contention of any sort, I think that we'll still be able to see some leverage in those free agency deals, which definitely sets us up for success in the long run. So that being said, is this the start of another Blackhawks dynasty? God, I hope so. It's amazing that we have Connor Bedard locked up, and I'm excited to see where the future takes us for this team. As always, be proud to be a Blackhawks fan, all right, folks? There's a lot of haters out there, but you know what? Stay strong, stay true to your team, all right? Be optimistic, all right? Things are looking up for our team. Let's go, Hawks.